As Aethys' voice fades, the enormity of what you've accomplished sinks in. You have confronted a god. You have rediscovered the ancient city where the wheel was forged, and you have seen the wheel shattered. What comes next is uncertain, but already the legend spreads of the Watcher, who survived Andra's mortar and stood toe-to-toe with Aethys. Aethys channels his essence into Berath, empowering the god of doors, cycles, and life and death beyond all other gods. Berath vows to maintain peace and order in the here and the beyond, while Kith labor toward a solution. The other gods, for the time being, submit. Under Berath's guidance, the world becomes a more predictable, stable place. Seasons fall into a disturbingly regular rhythm, and wars, famines, and natural disasters dwindle. But so too do surges of prosperity and innovation. Great minds around the world work methodically toward salvation, both unhindered and uninspired by changes, upheavals, and the unexpected. After the battle, Aeldys sends her fleet from Ukaizo. Her first and last act as Lady of the Ancient City is to reactivate the storms from Andra's spire. Her work done, she departs in the floating hangman. She determines that none shall control the power of Ukaizo. Under her, the Principi shall remain a lawless, rootless pirate band, and Deadfire shall remain free for any with the will to make their way in it. As the rise in piracy makes operations in Deadfire ever more costly, the Consuelo Maia Compressa votes to scale back the Valian Trading Company's presence. Luminous Adra and Animancy Research remain valuable enterprises, but the company can no longer afford to seek dominance in the region. The Royal Deadfire Company makes a final attempt to seize Ukaizo using an innovation of its own. A ship that submerges itself beneath the waves and storms. It is not, however, immune to the magically charged barrels that Aeldys' ships drop into the water. After an embarrassing defeat, the Royal Deadfire Company consolidates its forces in the archipelago and limits its ambitions to a handful of well-guarded plantations. The storms of Rauatai rage on, and its people muddle through with the same tenacity that has served them for millennia. Demoralized by the loss of Ukaizo, the Huana tribes fragment further. All of Queen Onikaza's work to unify her people falls apart, and foreign traders openly flout the decrees of the Kahanga crown. The mysterious deaths of Governor Clario and Storm Speaker Ikawa provoke hostilities between the Valian settlers and the Huawan residents. What starts with angry words escalates to retaliatory killings as each side blames the other. By the time anyone bothers to question the strange coincidences surrounding their deaths, including reports of a cloaked Omawi woman seen in both the port and the village, both sides have gone too far to turn back. As the conflict tears both the village and the town apart, many people, Huana and Valian alike, drift away in search of other opportunities. Many find themselves among the newly empowered Principi. After the violence they've already seen, piracy doesn't seem so bad. As the balance of power changes in Deadfire, so too does Neketaka transform. Pirates, smugglers, and other criminals flow into the city, openly flouting its laws. Largely forgotten amidst more prominent concerns, the Gullet continues to be a miserable place, especially for those Raparu who flee to Neketaka seeking a haven amidst the turmoil. For them, the Grand City is a promise cruelly broken. Though the Watershapers Guild had been the pride of Neketaka for a century, your brutal attack left it in shambles. Years of knowledge and expertise died with the slain Watershapers. Without the secret of Ukaizo, it would likely be many years before the Huana regained what was lost. Your brief encounter with Letharn proves deeply influential for the children of the Dawnstars. Plagued with nightmares and haunted by the deaths at Hesongo, Letharn begins questioning his faith in Aethys. At first, his fellow Dawnstars chide him. But that changes as word of Aethys' deeds at Ukaizo spreads. After all, what business have they worshipping a god who denied his own legitimacy? The faith of the children of the Dawnstars fades, but their commitment to the people of Deadfire does not. They continue feeding, healing, and helping the neediest, just as they have for decades. It is no longer a holy mission, but it is a mission all the same. Ruanu, the chieftain of the Huana at Tikawara, dies mysteriously. The tribe finds his body washed up on the same beach where Anaharu challenged him to the trial of waves. Some blame Anaharu's vengeful spirit. Others see it as Ngati's final judgment. And a few speak of a strange man seen lingering in the village. The leaderless tribe eventually scatters. Some head to Neketaka, while others seek out the Wahaki. The slavers of Crookspur continue to seize and sell Huana, and Aeldys turns her ships against them. Unfortunately, her fleet is too disorganized, and the slavers are too well entrenched. Despite dozens of small battles over the years, she is never quite able to eliminate them. Yet, her fierce attacks prevent the Crookspur operation from expanding. Ships continue to disappear at the southeastern fringe of the archipelago, and stories circulate of a colony of vampires and gulls preying on their crews. Though your adventures alter the destiny of Eora and the balance of power in Deadfire, they also leave a lasting mark on those who travel at your side. Your companions find themselves changed, in ways both big and small. Eder returns to Hasongo, where he reunites with Bearn, the son of his former lover, Aloth. However, the visit does not go as planned. Distraught upon learning that he has truly missed the chance to help Aethys in his greatest moment, Bearn spurns Eder's offer of guidance. He disappears from Hasongo soon after, leaving Eder alone there with only memories of the boy's mother for company. Eventually, Eder finds his way back to rejoin you on the Defiant. After you divest Xoti of her virtue, she does not take the breakup well. On several different nights, you have to turn her away when she tries to follow you into your captain's quarters. Xoti is not a priestess who understands the meaning of subtlety. As such, she makes her girlish crush on Eder painfully obvious from the moment she first sets eyes on the strapping fighter. But as you all travel, Eder grows increasingly uncomfortable with her attempts to engender his affection, until he finally takes her aside and sets her straight. He's not interested in a sheltered, overzealous little girl, he explains in so many words. After that, Xoti turns a cold shoulder to him, sometimes forgetting to heal him in the chaos of battle. Or so she claims. Plagued by constant nightmares and hallucinations, Xoti becomes increasingly disassociated from reality. Meanwhile, her power continues to grow with every soul she harvests. You start to notice sliced up animal corpses everywhere you two travel. But when confronted about it, Xoti stomps her feet and fiercely denies any wrongdoing. Then, one night, Xoti wakes, but never leaves the nightmare. Shivering uncontrollably, she packs up her belongings and slips away into the darkness, murmuring that she must return to the Temple of Gon in order to fulfill her purpose to her god. But she never reaches the temple. None of the Dawnstars know what's become of her, aside from disturbing rumors of a harvester ravaging the southeastern islands in the Deadfire, leaving a trail of blood in her wake. After you depart Port Maje, Aloth Corvizor pursues a mission of his own, finding an ancient leaden key cabal hidden in Deadfire. His search leads him to the Wahaki tribe, yet without a Watcher's insight, He is unable to understand the clues he finds, or why they leave the tribe suspicious of him. He dies on a warrior's spear, never learning the answers he sought. Your trials in the Deadfire end without crossing Serafen's path a second time, and you never hear whether the slavers you sold him to at Bleak Rock Shrine ever catch him. Regardless, he likely wants little to do with you. Yet every once in a while, you catch a hint of cobalt blue out of the corner of your eye, and you wonder whether the Orlan pirate is as finished with you as you are with him. The Valian Trading Company is furious with Pallegina for her support of the Watcher during the Principi conquest of Ukaizo. Their fury intensifies when Aldi's pirates triple their attacks on all merchant ships in the Deadfire. Instead of removing Pallegina from the Brotherhood, the Dukes assign her to guard the most vulnerable ships in the company fleet. 5 months into her assignment, Pallegina goes down with the Vengiata Men Aimora. Her body is never found. Turning her back on the hierarchy that brought her to the Deadfire earns Maia Rua a dishonorable discharge from Rauatai's navy. The homeland attempts to stem further rebellion with a campaign of propaganda, smearing her name wherever ships make port. Maia is numb to all of this. Her pain is self-imposed. It isn't long before she leaves your company with little fanfare, going her own way in the world. She acts withdrawn in your presence, haunted by her choices. The bond that you once shared all but dissolves in silence. She misses her brother, but some wounds are not meant to heal. Even Ashiza feels his absence. Tekehu distances himself from the problems of the Deadfire, giving the tribes a reprieve from godlike omens. And Gati's silence speaks volumes. The Huana grow to rely on each other, paving a new way forward divorced from their traditions. Soon after he departs Neketaka, distant tribes report of unusual and salacious water sculptures appearing on the shores. These quaint visitations are widely celebrated, the identity of the artist ever an open question. Without Tekehu to wrest it back from the precipice, the Watershapers Guild falls into permanent decline. Most of the surviving guild members don't know the ancestral art well enough to pass on their knowledge to the next generation. The art doesn't vanish entirely, but its significance diminishes. Your farewell is short and cordial. Nothing further needs to be said, and you wish each other well. Tekehu does not look back. The sea feels restless in his absence. Great changes are at work in Deadfire and the world beyond, but the storms of Andra's mortar rage on. Whatever salvation Kith achieve will be hard-won, but it will be the deliverance of their own choosing. As the Watcher of Cadnua and the former Herald of Berath, you return to your ship and begin the long journey home. You hope for calm weather.